February. It's winter, but there's nothing like doing a tag called the Winter Essentials book tag when it's slated to come out on a Tuesday where the high is going to be about 86. Happy winter, friends. Hi friends, welcome back. I am so excited you're here. As I said, it's kind of warm for this Winter Essentials tag, but that's okay because it is still February, even if it doesn't feel like winter. There are a couple sort of Christmas Eve related questions, but we're just gonna go with that. I'd just like to say thank you to Cheryl from the Candlewick Library for tagging me. I hope you guys are following her and that you get to enjoy the wonderfulness that is her. She is so bright and smart and just very deep in her thinking. I think you guys will enjoy her if you check out her channel. So let's get right into the prompts. The first one is crackling fire. Who is your favorite cold character who warmed up towards the end? I'm going to say Silas Marner from Silas Marner by George Eliot. He was so betrayed by people who should have been there for him and defended him and tried to find out the truth about what he was accused of, and no one did any of that. And so he ended up going off on his own, being cast out from his community. And it took the love of a little girl that he ended up taking under his wing and raising to thaw his heart out. And this is such a beautiful book. I read it in high school, reread it about a year and a half ago, and I think it's a great introduction to George Eliot if you're kind of scared to just jump into something like Middlemarch that is so long. But yeah, I think that you would really enjoy Silas Marner if you haven't read it. Number 2, Snowflakes. What is a book that was full of unique characters? I'm going to say A Little Princess for this one. This is by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And there's so many varied characters that show different sides of human nature. I mean, I could have answered anyone by her, like the Little Fauntleroy, I could have answered any of Dickens' novels for this. But this one, this little girl has such fortitude. She goes from being very spoiled and cherished to being treated like dirt, like a slave, having no prospect, having no hope, no one who really truly loves her. We see selfish adults. We see adults that are giving. We see other children that are very snobbish and jealous, and we see we see children that are actually giving of themselves. So you see a little bit of the politics of the time, and it was a good book. I've read several times. I love it. It's not my favorite one by Frances Hodgson Burnett, but it's definitely one of my favorite children's classics. So I think that has a lot of varied characters in it. Gingerbread family. Which fictional family would you want to be part of? Well, let's be clear. I wouldn't want any family but my own. But if I had to pick, I think I would go with the Little Women people. I feel like those girls, they're all me. I'm them. I think we all that are women, girls, can relate to some aspect or all of them. I relate to all of them in a way. And Marmee is so precious. I, of course, would be Marmee age now. I'd probably be the Marmee. But it's a beautiful, beautiful family, loving family, cares more about who and how their daughters were instead of what their marriages could do for their family, which was unique in that time, I think. Blizzard. What is a book that had you confused the whole time? Well, one that I didn't finish this. I DNF'd it. I was just so confused because I did not know. I did not know who Colleen Hoover was before BookTube. And I kept hearing about Verity. And Verity sounded like just a nice, mysterious thriller. And I do like an occasional thriller. But it was kind of like a smut book. And I was like, what is going on? So I DNF'd it pretty early on. I know many people really loved this book. I'm not saying that. I'm sure it probably was very entertaining. It just was not for me, and I was confused because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. All right, next. Gift giving. What is the last book that was gifted to you? Well, honestly, I think probably the last one was actually by the same person that was The Idiot by Dostoevsky. But around the same time, she sent me her book, Courtney, from Courtney Reed. She publishes C.P. Cabinets. And this is her contemporary romance before and after. And it is not a genre that I read a lot of, but I absolutely adored this book. It just hit all my romantic requirements. Very clean, very, just like a reunited, like loves that never really were loves, but just like it wasn't really a second chance romance because they didn't have a romance the first time, but because they were younger when they'd been together. But I just thought it was a great book. Support her. And she has another contemporary romance with some characters overlapping coming out soon. All right. Snowball. What is the biggest book you've ever read? That would be the Bible for sure. I read it every year, and I really, really am thankful that it is available to me and I can read it in this country and that nothing bad will happen to me because I read it every year. This is my third year doing chronologically. I've done just front cover to back cover before. I've done where you read through the whole thing and then read the New Testament again. And chronological is just my favorite way to do it. Wrapping paper. What is your most beat up book? Okay, I've got two that are literally falling apart, covers off, pages falling out. One of them is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle, and been read so many times. Love it, love it, love it. And the other one is A Girl of the Limberlost by Jean Stratton Porter, and it is also falling apart. All right, so next, what is a book that you own that has many colors on the front? And that is Sitting Bull. We have not read this yet. I just looked and saw it doesn't look all that bright, but it has red, it has green, it has a bright yellow, a bright blue, and so it's really wonderful. The next one is Christmas Tree. Who is your favorite character of all time? And I think that would probably have to be Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables. She just has gotten into my soul over the years. Love her writing. And The Star, what's a book you look forward to rereading each year? And I think that, again, to go to L.M. Montgomery, I'm going to be rereading The Blue Castle every year. I really love that. It is my favorite romance. And yeah, it's just one that I want to reread. And then Snowball Fight Tag, people. Okay, I think it's kind of towards the end of winter. And I know that Courtney Reed always likes to keep Christmas around a little bit all year. So I'm going to tag her to see if she would like to do this. Thanks. Read a lot. Bye-bye.